All right, so I'm here doing another project on the Hawk 250 today. And if you own a Hawk 250 or a Tao TBR7 or one of the other similar bikes like these, you know that the fuel gauge that is included is not very accurate. The reason I knew that is I filled the tank up almost all the way when I first got it, and it only registered a quarter of a tank. So I knew there was something weird going on. And then I went out for a ride the other day, and 62 miles on a tank of gas, and it's registering 1 bar, and the low fuel light is flashing. So obviously this doesn't get that bad of gas mileage. You can hear there's a ton of water in the tank, so I know that's obviously not the, or a ton of gas in the tank, not water. So obviously we know that's not the case. So the problem is the float that they include with the stock Hawk gas tank. And it's not a very good part. And the arm is not long enough, so it registers low, you know, when the gas is just down a little bit. So the fix to that is you can buy a different float assembly from CSC motorcycles out in California. And it's what they use on the CSC TT250, which is basically a higher quality version of the Hawk. So I went on the CSC website, and they have a really nice parts ordering catalog online. And the cool thing about the CSC TT250 is most of the parts will interchange with the Hawk. So it's much easier and cheaper to buy parts from them for your Hawk than it is to get them from anywhere else, really. So, and they ship from here in the United States, so you get a lot quicker. So I placed my order, and then within 2 days the part was shipped, and then within another 2 days, so about 4 days total from when I ordered it, it came in the mail. And here's the new fuel gauge sender that I received. Came with a gasket, and it's supposed to be a direct swap on the Hawk, and it should give us a much more accurate fuel gauge reading. So it's actually a pretty straightforward process. What we're going to do is we need to take the tank off. So we're going to have to take the plastic off the sides, which is just a couple screws. And then we'll take the seat off. There's a couple bolts under the seat to get the seat off. And then we'll remove the tank, and it's pretty much just as easy as removing the one bolt and then pulling it off. I'm actually going to leave the gas in there. So you saw the gauge. It was down on 1 bar, so quarter tank basically, and the light was already flashing. And I'm going to leave the gas in there and block this off and just flip it over and remove everything, put it back together, and then we'll see what the fuel gauge registers with a new sender when we're done. So now I'm going to get started pulling all the plastic off, and we'll get going. Alright, so once you get the seat off, we'll go ahead and shut the fuel supply off. And then we're going to disconnect the fuel line. Just be ready, a little bit of fuel might come out. Disconnect the fuel line from the petcock here, just so when we pull the tank off, there won't be anything connected. Just a little bit of fuel spill out of the line there. And then you want to reach under and unplug the factory sender, where you're not trying to fight with it when you're pulling the tank off. It's just a little clip, and it'll disconnect. Alright, now to take the tank itself off, 10mm bolt here. Make sure you have a nice, like a work area. You're not going to scratch your tank up. That you can, when you take it off, we can turn it upside down and work on it. All right, so I just put a little rubber plug over the vent on the tank there, make sure this is tight. It's got a rubber seal. Like I said, I'm just gonna pull it off and turn it upside down to work on it. So to pull it off, we just wanna pull it straight back. Give it a good yank. Let's see, that's all there is to that. Everything is disconnected. Now we'll set it down where we can work on it. All right. On the side for a second to see what we're dealing with. So there's obviously what we want to get to. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to do what we need to do without draining the gas, but we're going to try. It might actually be easier to, if I turn it like this, then the gas will drain down below that level, hopefully. So let's see. Kind of finagle the old float out of there. It appears that it went down into that side. Alright, so we'll set this right here. Okay, so you can see this is the old one here, and this is the new one. You can see how much longer the float arm is. So it should make quite a difference. Alright, so I'll make sure our gasket is placed down there correctly. That. Hopefully that's correct. And then it goes like this. So really it should be, the float should be down over on this side over here. Looks like. But I'm gonna have to kind of go in at an angle. Just make sure your gasket is in the right spot. Get that positioned up. All right, now you don't want to crank these down. Just lightly work your way back and forth. Snug it up. All right, that should be good. We'll kind of flip it down here. Slosh it around, look, make sure we don't have any leaks. Make sure the float, you should hear it move in there. See any signs of fuel leaking. Now the best thing to do is just set it on there. We'll plug this in and we'll test it to make sure it works before we put everything back together. So remember, we were down to 1/4 of a tank, so we'll see where we're at. All right, so we got the tank on. Let's go and flip it on, see where our gas level is. Look at that. So we went to 3/4 of a tank, and we didn't put any gas in it. So it went from the fuel light flashing at 1/4 of a tank to 3/4 of a tank, and I didn't add any gas. So, hello? It's weird that they wouldn't just include that. You know, obviously the Chinese manufacturing plant hasn't caught up with the fact that they're including that crappy part. But okay, so that was easy enough. Now we'll put it all back together. All right, well, hopefully that was helpful. You can see what a difference it made and the readings in our fuel tank. Hopefully it's a lot more accurate and give you a little bit better idea what's actually going on with your range and your fuel. If it was helpful, be sure to give it a like, subscribe for more, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and if you click below you can see my website where I have all of the blogs of everything I've done in the Hawk, and there's a list of parts that I've used as well. So I'll put the link below in the description where you can buy this part also from CSC Motorcycles. We'll see you next time.